In today's society, if the internet connection is down, we call it a day. How many times have you been in a restaurant and quickly pulled out of your phone to calculate the tip? How many of you have typed in an address rather than pulling out a paper map? With new technology advances, it has become easier to depend on the internet's ability rather than doing it the old-fashioned way. At some point in your life, you have depended on technology in some type of way, whether it be a research for a school project, waiting for a phone call, or an alarm to wake you up in the morning. I feel like I am qualified to talk to you about how much society depends on technology because I myself depend on technology every day for things such as maps, calculators, and homework. The purpose of my speech is to persuade the audience that society is too dependent on technology. I believe that people are too dependent on technology because we are getting lazier, we don't communicate as much as we used to, and it has become very unsafe. First, I'm going to talk to you about how technology makes people lazy. People in schools today are more dependent on calculators rather than adding by hand. Even something as simple as 2 plus 2 are typing it into the calculators. Students are taught every function on the calculator rather than being taught how to do it by hand. Before calculators, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing were muscle memory. However, as the years have gone by, the dependence on calculators have increased. As people in today's society plan vacations, they no longer pull out paper maps to decide the fastest route. With advances such as GPS and Google Maps along with the navigation app on your phone, people are told exactly where to turn than looking at maps and road signs. Along with the use of phones for maps, people are also using them for calls, texts, and social media while behind the wheel. For example, in 2013, 3,154 people were killed in distraction-related crashes. The introduction of technology to youth has left them more likely to stay inside on social media or video games rather than going outside and play and be healthier. Instead of being more active and healthy, kids would rather prefer to stay inside and look at a screen. Rather than interacting with other kids in person, kids would prefer to interact with them online on social media. Children are now spending just a few hours a week outside compared to the 8.2 hours a week that their parents used to get. Next, I'm going to talk to you about how we do not communicate as much as we used to. People now use technology to communicate in so many different ways. We use emails, cell phones, and faxing to communicate. We use these for work and school and many other things we do daily. Although those are some positive things, there are also many negative things about technology. We use technology so much in today's society, we forget how to communicate face to face. I feel like we use our phones way too much nowadays. Even our youth is using them to communicate rather than being social with other kids and playing outside. This can affect them by being socially awkward and less active. Finally, I'm going to talk to you about how technology has become unsafe. In today's time, there are a lot more kidnappings and abductions than there have ever been. When we are out in public, we pay more attention to more of our phones than our surroundings. If we paid attention to our surroundings as much as our phones, maybe there wouldn't be so much kidnappings and abductions. When it comes to our cell phones, they have location services and we can share our locations. Not only do our phones have location services, but there are different types of social medias that can track us and show everyone's location. Some people may think it's cool that you can see where all of your friends are and more, but it could be very dangerous. Today it is very unsafe, and we must take precautions when adding social media apps about what we do. If there was a stalker or someone you didn't know or wanted to know where you were, they could easily find you and your friends. We are so into technology that we use our phones for everything. If we were to be in a dangerous situation or lost, no one would know a number to call. We no longer learn to try to remember anyone's numbers. Also, if you got a new phone or lost, you wouldn't have anyone's numbers anymore. In conclusion, I would like to inform you that my purpose today was to persuade my readers that society is too dependent on technology. Today, I talked about how society is too dependent on technology because people are getting lazier, we don't communicate like we used to, and it has become very unsafe. Even though I depend on technology throughout the week, I also have become aware of some of the unsafe conditions that follow. I would like to remind you all that technology has its pros and cons, but to remember all the unsafe and negative effects it has on us. Will you think to put your phone down and calculate the tip yourself next time? Will you try to find your destination by road signs and a paper map rather than a GPS? Remember that new technology advances are fascinating, but doing it the old-fashioned way reminds us of where we came from.